Hi, this is John Goodman recording his last, at least his last for today, March 20th, 2020, his last video on the coronavirus series. And this video follows up on the video where I talk about the Goodman ideal solutions to dealing with these force majeure kind of events. And this video is designed to address people who watch that video and say, John, I get everything you said, but I'm unusual as a broker. I am one of those brokers who watches your videos, enjoys them, and I am one of those brokers in the top 20% or the top 10% or the top 5% of brokers who understand this stuff, but not all of my colleagues do. And John, what I need is a clause, especially for when I'm a listing broker, that I can use to counter out the wacky clause that is coming from the buyer's side and replace it with something that the seller and the buyer might feel good about. Now, remember, there's lots of complexities in these things, and one of the complexities is what will the market accept, and none of us know what the market will accept, and even if we did know what the market accepts right now, that could change a week from now, it could change a month from now. But here's my idea for a one-size-fits-all kind of transaction. And that is even though force majeure notions, force majeure law lurks out there and applies to all contracts, to have a provision essentially saying that force majeure notions apply to this contract. Now, we need to be a little bit fancy, because if you see my video on force majeure, in order for a force majeure event to count as an event that excuses a party from performing under the contract, one of the three elements, I'm not going to repeat all the elements, but I am going to focus on the one element requires an event to occur that could not have reasonably been anticipated by the side who's trying to get out of the contract. Well, COVID-19 certainly could not have been anticipated, say, in October of 2019, but we're not in October of 2019 now. We are in March of 2020, and COVID-19 is no longer an unanticipated event. So COVID-19 as an event could cause other events, such as the closing of the banks or the closing of the clerk and recorder's office, or the shutdown of the lender, or the death of somebody. It could cause those things, but the fact that I can articulate them right now means that those are not events that cannot be anticipated. And so my idea for a one clause fits all COVID-19 sort of get out of the contract free card that isn't too wide open. You don't want to say that either side can whimsically get out of the contract because of COVID-19 nervousness. My idea is to have a clause that incorporates force majeure notions into the contract. Because remember, force majeure has the third element, requiring some event that makes performance of the contract, if not impossible, very impractical. And so my idea for a COVID-19 clause, I'm not going to read you a whole clause, it's still a work in progress, we're kicking it around. But the concept is that it would have at least one sentence in it that said, regardless of whether the event, regardless of whether the consequence of COVID-19 could have been anticipated, if it's something that came out of COVID-19, then it satisfies that first criteria of force majeure. That's my idea. Now, that's not specific enough for you. You want the clause, you want the language. I get it. I want to get it to you. I want to be as helpful as I can, but I also have exposure in providing clauses like that. They can cause a lot of skirmishing, because people may disagree about whether it is an event that triggers a force majeure kind of get out of the contract free thing. And so I'm going to be charging for it. My law firm's going to be charging for it. But if you're interested in our suggestion for a COVID-19 clause, like I just described, email us. Email us. Most of you are watching this video because it was emailed to you by us, so you have our email already. But if you don't, my email is John, Jon, no H, John, @frescona.com. Yes, I would like your quick and dirty, feel-good, symmetrical COVID-19 clause, and we'll talk to you about how it costs and how we deliver it to you then. Ladies and gentlemen, remember our theme. Now we live in a complex world that's a little bit more dangerous than it was, so let's all be careful out there. Thank you.